Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to As Told by Key. Today, I'm going to do a movie review because that's what I felt like doing today. Quick though, the whole 9 day giveaway thing isn't really going the way I planned it to, so I'm gonna stop it. I have a winner. She won the first two rings. That's it. That's all. I'll just do reviews of the rings. And if people want it, they'll say something down in the comment. I'll give it away. It is what it is. I'm going back to my reviews of my movies and my TV shows because that's what I like. That's life. I like my rings. Don't get me wrong. I will still keep doing my joy reviews for the people that's watching it. It's just not going to be like no giveaways or nothing like that. But ultimately, if it's something that I want to give away, I'll let that be known in the video, and you can comment down below that you want the ring. And if I pick you, I pick you, and that's just where we are. So today, sorry, how rude am I? For my new viewers, hi, welcome. I'm Keita. Hope you guys like it here. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like these videos. I hope you share them. And to my people that aren't new, welcome back, y'all. Missed you, fam. With that being said, I'm doing 50 Shades of Grey today, part 1 and part 2, because it's getting ready to come back out this Valentine's Day. And I just got to get some things off my chest about the movie. Like, I'm not even going to go into a whole bunch of details. It may be a couple of little, so I'm going to sprinkle little spoilers in there. So a spoiler alert is in effect. Okay? I'm just letting you know. All right? So don't be mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. I told you in advance. If you don't want to, you want to try to watch the first two movies before you go see the third one, you might not want to watch this. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Don't shoot the messenger. So in parts, I'm gonna do both parts, and I'm gonna do part 1 first and give you my review, and then give you part 2's review, and then let you know what I think about part 3 before it comes out. Part 1 was boring as F. Like, it was boring as F because when you read the book, there's a really slow start. Like the first 6 chapters of 50 Shades of Grey, the first book, it is a really slow start. And I was praying when the first one came out that they would not start me off like that, but they started me off like that. It starts me off with Anastasia and Christian, like the meeting, and I was like, yeah, that's good. We need that. But there were like filler parts of it that we did not need. Like, I feel like they could have did any other thing or did it any other way. It was boring. It was so boring. And then once it finally started getting juicy, we were so close to the end of it that I just didn't know what to do with myself. Like, when it finally started making sense after Christian like tells her about the BDMSN, and she sees the room and she stops talking to him because she thinks she can't do it, and he like, she disappears to go stay with the mother, and he flies to find her and explain why, you know, he needs her and all this other stuff, and he takes her on like this romantic little boat ride, I think it was, and like an airplane ride. Like, Christian was doing a lot for Anastasia, and it was just a lot of trying to show us how the relationship started, and then like the build up to where we're going to ultimately end up, which is where they're going to get married and things like that. And so when it goes off, it is after Christian beats Anastasia. He spanks her, and he spanks her pretty hard. And she like just decides that this isn't what she wants. She can't live like this. And Anastasia realizes that she can't be the woman that Christian wants her to be. And it goes off with Anastasia and Christian at the elevator, him chasing her down, and him looking at her and going, Anastasia, and her going, Christian. And the elevator doors shut, and that is where part 1 ends. And I get up out of my seat pissed, mad, because I could have just reread the book and been a lot more fulfilled. Yeah. I didn't expect all the dirty scenes to be in it, but I didn't expect it to be that slow. Like, that slow of a burn for us to get to what was really going on. That makes sense? Like, it was just a really slow burn for me. And it was like it was funny also to me because I had watched people come in with like neckties and whips and handcuffs, and they were getting confiscated and being told that you cannot take that into the movie theater. I don't know what kind of games you think this is, but it's a goddamn movie and you cannot take that stuff with you. So considering all the anticipation and all the hype and all the yes that we thought we were going to get, it was just vanilla. And if you read the book or watched the movie, you know what I mean. It was vanilla. Very much so. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I give it 3 out of 3 neckties. Like 3 out of 5 neckties. I give it 3 neckties out of 5 neckties. That is where I'm at with part one of 50 Shades of Grey. So part two is a little bit more interesting because we see Christian like working to get Anastasia back, and it's cute or whatever. And the family's like really trying to figure out Anastasia because they're like, how did you mess it up with her? And I guess for me, I was a little bit more happy. A little bit more happy with part two. But it was still a kind of slow burn. Or no, it wasn't a slow burn. They were giving us all just too much. Like things that I feel like they could have put in part one instead of ending it with them at the elevator. Maybe, hear me out, maybe we could have ended it where he finally got Anastasia back and we seen the proposal where he proposed to Anastasia. Maybe we could have ended it there. Because I feel like if we'd have ended it there, then in part two, right, we'd have got a little bit, it wouldn't have been as rushed, and people who didn't read the books could have understood what was going on in a lot of the scenes. Because the scenes where her and her boss were like kind of getting like going at it and things like that, and then he got fired for trying to rape her, trying to come on to her. Like they don't explain that Christian took over the company the way they did in the book. And I feel like if you didn't read the book, you needed to understand that Christian took over the company and made Anastasia the goddamn boss. Like, but if you didn't read, you're like, oh, she's the boss of this company now because of her hard work. Kind of. Not really. Christian owns that company now. And so I just feel like we could have left off somewhere else in part one so that we didn't feel so rushed in part two. And it just might have felt a little more like it. I would have cared more about the wedding if I didn't feel like they just shoved it in my throat. Like, you gotta hear about this wedding. You gotta know that they're going to get married because that's what the next movie is about. And it goes off with them like they're at a function. They're at a function for the parents. They're donating things, and this is like something that they do every year. And then at the end of said function, or towards the end, like Christian's outside with Anastasia, and there's like fireworks, and it's just like all this awesome stuff. And we see her boss, her ex-boss, like stalking them. Like we can like, I don't know, he's just like on the other side of the mansion smoking a cigarette, and like it goes off of like that. It goes off like he's back. And I feel like it just gave us a lot. It gave us a lot to chew on. It gave us a lot to mull over, and it makes you want to go read. If you didn't read it, it makes you want to go read it because you're trying to understand what you just paid for. So part two, I guess I'm on the same place. Like I give it 3 out of 5 neckties. Like both of them. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. This isn't one of those movies that if I see it on HBO, I'm going to be like, oh, 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, I'm going to be like, oh, 50 Shades of Grey is on, and I'm probably going to change the channel unless there's absolutely nothing else on television. And then I'll probably watch it because I didn't hate it. It's just not one of those things that I want to like go grab for my DVD collection because I wouldn't watch it. I just wouldn't do it. So this is my anticipation for part 3. I feel like part 3 is going to rush us through a lot. I feel like we're going to see the spoiler, by the way, because I'm going off of the book. I feel like we're going to see the whole kidnapping process of Mia, which is Christian's sister, and Anastasia. Like, it's just going to be really rushed. It's not going to really be explained appropriately. Because in the book, they pretty much explain in detail why they're doing what they're doing, why they took Mia, why Anastasia needs to like clear out her bank account. I don't think we're going to get to really explore all the emotions and the feelings of the pregnancy that we learned that she's pregnant because all these weeks that she's been married and she hasn't been on her birth control because she's been so busy trying to help Christian run this company, and she missed some pills and she pops up pregnant. Or Depo, I think she was doing Depo. She missed her shots and she ends up pregnant. And I don't think they're going to explore the fact that Christian hated the idea. He did not like the idea. He didn't like the idea of being a dad. He thought he was going to be a S father, and Anastasia just didn't know how to feel about that, but she wasn't getting rid of that baby, I'll tell you that. And I don't think that we're going to be able to explore the fact that towards the end, once we save Anastasia from the kidnappers and everybody, gets locked up or whatever, we're not going to really explore the fact that Anastasia is constantly going in and out of consciousness. We're not going to, they're not going to go into that into depth, like the way that I would like them to for the movie, because we see in the book that she's in and out of consciousness, and there's one point in the book where she's kind of conscious and she can hear Christian, and Christian's like, how about the baby? Is the baby okay? And she's just constantly going in her head, he asks about the baby. He asks about the baby, and then she starts to worry in her, subconsciously in her head while she's in and out of consciousness, she's worried about the baby. And Christian, knowing that Christian cared, I just don't think that that's going to come across as caring. That moment is going to come across as caring as I would like it to, like it does in the book. So I can't judge that yet. But based off of everything else, we went from a really slow burning movie, part 1, to just shoving it all in your face, everything all at one time, and you're just trying to just catch up with the first part of it. And I think that they think it's shocking and suspense, but really it's just a lot to take in, and it's an overload. And if you are not a book reader and you're one of those people who wants to just see the damn movie, if that is your lifestyle, then that part 2 is going to be so much that you're going to feel okay, maybe I should go read the book so I can understand what I just watched. And I just think that this one is just not going to hit they didn't make me care about the characters. If I didn't read the book, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care about Anastasia. I wouldn't care about Christian. I wouldn't care about Mia. I wouldn't care about any of it. I would not care because they don't take enough time for character development. They don't take enough time to just get you to connect to these people on a personal level. It just seems so forced and so rushed. And I feel like they realized how good the book was doing and they just threw these movies out. And I think that the movies probably could have waited. And I feel like I'm probably going to be back here in February saying the same thing about part 3. I feel like it probably could have waited and they could have put more time in it, because that is the most crucial part of this. Seeing how much Anastasia cares about Christian and doing what he did to get Mia, doing what she did to get Mia, because if she didn't love Christian, she wouldn't have ever put herself in that situation to get Mia. And seeing how cold Christian is, and realizing in that moment after they save her, how his heart starts to melt, kind of like the Grinch, and he starts to care about the baby, and you start to see that for him, Anastasia is his wife and not just this trophy that he's fallen in love with, the pretty shiny girl that he fell in love with. I just don't think they're going to be able to get that across if they rush it, and I'm pretty sure this has been rushed because 3 Valentines in a row now, and they've let me down both times. So those are my review, you guys. 50 Shades of Grey, part 1, part 2, and my thoughts about what part 3 is going to be like. All together, we got 3 neckties for part 1 and 3 neckties for part 2. Hopefully, I'll be able to give you guys more neckties for part 3. I'll probably be doing my next review for my movie probably tomorrow. And I'll be putting up a ring review probably today. And I love you guys. And I promise you guys I'm working on the schedule so that I'm not blowing y'all feeds up every day with my videos. I'm going to come up with a solid schedule. Y'all let me know. Do you guys think I should do this 3 times a week? 4 times? Tell me what you think. And then we'll work from there. I love you guys. Hopefully you guys love me back. Thanks for coming in and seeing my movie review for 50 Shades of Grey. You should probably go watch it and tell me what you think if you've already watched it. Do you guys like it? Do you think part 3 is going to be good?